morning everyone. Today we are going to study the first poem for standard 7 and which is maps. In this poem we are going to look upon the various types of maps and how imaginative can a world of maps become for a kid. Because maps are something that come in SST, and SST, let me tell you students, you think that it is a very boring subject, but it is not. It is a very great subject, and in a similar fashion the poet has tried to explain that maps can be interesting because maps open up an all new world for us. So now let us study this poem. So students, in the first paragraph of the poem, the poet says, "High adventure and bright dream, maps are mightier than they seem." So in the first paragraph he tells that the maps give him adventure and dream. Okay, and they are very powerful things. Okay, they are very powerful things, but the person who is having the maps, who is studying the maps, does not realize the true power of the map. Second paragraph says, ships that follow leaning stars. Ships that follow leaning stars, it means when you are at the sea, you have no idea how to get the direction. Nowadays you have compasses and computerized maps and all, but in those days the ships used to follow the stars in order to get the direction during night, and they used to follow the sun during daytime to get the directions. So who are the ones who travel in sea? Sailors, traders and tourists. These are the three categories of people who often take a map or a ship. And where do they travel? Red and gold of strange bazaars. Red means the decoration, the cloth, the spices, and gold means the money or the beauty of those strange bazaars. So people take these ships to go to unknown lands, and when they travel to unknown lands, they realize that was possible only due to a map. Ice flows hid beyond all knowing. So do we really, how many of us have actually visited the North Pole or the South Pole? Well, very few, I would say 1 in a million. But still, due to the maps, due to the globe, we know that the poles are covered with ice. We have an entire continent named as Antarctica, which is completely covered with ice. How do we come to know about it? Because people plotted them on different maps. Plains that ride where winds are blowing. So from ships, the author has now shifted to planes. That means to the aviation industry. You know, the planes also follow a detailed guideline of maps, a detailed network of maps in order to travel. So, in order to travel, these maps help the planes. Okay. Or else, how do you think the planes will find their way in the sky? It's a very big sky, of course. Now, in the fourth paragraph, the poet tells about different kinds of maps, like train maps, maps of wind and weather. Train maps, which is used by the railways, maps of wind, which is used to predict monsoon, of weather, which tells about the different places, temperature and weather, road maps, which tells us about the roadways, and these taken all together consist the different types of maps that we see. Like you might have seen various types of maps in your SST books, okay, especially in geography and history. Maps are really magic wands for home-staying vagabonds. Magic wand You know, it is used by magicians to do something extraordinary, to do something magical. So the poet over here compares the maps to the magic wand. When he is comparing maps to a magic wand, he is using a metaphor. Okay? A metaphor is a poetic device which compares two. So a metaphor is used to compare two things directly. Similar to the metaphor, there is another poetic device which is called as the simile. Simile is used to compare two things by the use of as or like, but here the poet has used metaphor for direct comparison. Okay, so the poet says that maps are really magic wands for homestaying vagabonds. Now, homestaying, someone who is an introvert or someone who doesn't prefer to get out of his house without any work, and vagabond, we can say a vagabond has no work, he just keeps on roaming from one place to another. Okay, someone who doesn't have a home. So these two are really contrasting in nature. How can someone be a homestaying and vagabond at the same time? कोई घर पे रह के भी वेगाबॉन्ड कैसे हो सकता है? So the explanation is that one is staying physically at his home but is looking at a map and traveling to different places in his imagination. Actually he is at home but he is imagining to travel to different places through the maps or by looking at the maps. So maps are actually magic wands for such homestaying vagabonds. So that is the poem, students, and that was the explanation. I hope you understand it. Please tell your doubts in the comment section below, and till then, stay home, stay safe. See you soon in the next video. Thank you.